Hey you guys, did you see this bomb frontal that I created? This is a frontal. I have a little bit of hair left out only on my edges. I didn't pull anything out. Baby hair's out. Cut is dope. Everything about this look you will want to see. So don't forget, tune in, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Follow me at Instagram, Beauty by CD. And I hope to see you guys there with your comments and your forwards. See you guys soon. So I had to take the hair that I had and I had to boil it down. I threw it on the stove in a pot that I don't really use, and I just started to like boil it down. I had about three um, bundles of 16 inches in Malaysian wavy with a closure in the same texture, and I just wanted to really get it like cleansed and cleaned of all the impurities. And after it was all said and done, the result was this big bushy type of frontal that had no moisture left in it whatsoever. So I definitely had to get back in and do some magic. After I had a fight with it, I won, but you guys stay tuned and you'll see what I mean. All right, so I measured it to see where it's going to be on my head. I used the Wonder Pencil, which is a NYX pencil in a light color. You can use anything that's like crayon based just to kind of tag where it's going to be. I use it on my head to measure where the closure is going to sit. Then I place it on a mannequin. From the mannequin, um, I am just sewing it down from the one side first on the ear, and then I'm going to bring it over to the other side and sew that bad boy down as well. Now, the thing that you need to know about this, you guys, is just because you measure it on your head doesn't mean you'll get a good fit. Um, well, you'll get a good fit, but you have to keep in mind if you're going to put it on a mannequin that you must stretch this cap out. I'm using a spandex cap from the beauty supply store. And once I got one side down, I made sure I stretched it out because remember, it's a frontal that's going to be made to fit your head and sit comfortably and snug. If it's not snug, it may not look too good. So I'm pulling it down and I'm using my fingers to remove any pockets of air or puckering that it might do so that I have a flat installation. Once I'm done with that, and I have to kind of tame this bad boy. And as you see, what I was telling you about, it's pretty dry looking and looks like I can't use it. At first, I was a little shocked and surprised. This is some hair that I had sitting around, so I wanted to kind of revive it and use it. Maybe not at its full length, but just to kind of get it going a little, revitalization. So I pressed out the top after I got it sewn down just to see what it would look like, and it looked pretty good. I use my FHI tool, which is a platform flat iron, and it got the job done pretty quickly. Next, I'm going to start sewing in the back. I doubled the rows, and this is my first 16-inch Malaysian wavy hair, and I doubled it in the back so I can get the fullness because I knew I was going to do a bob look, so I wanted to make sure I had a lot of fullness so I can stack it pretty good, and I wanted to try to get all of the bundles in because I am greedy and I love to have a lot of hair. But again, you want a bob that looks full. Whenever you use bundles for bobs, it's gonna duplicate what your real hair looks like. It's not going to be as full, so you got to use more. If you're using packed hair, it's a little bit different. You'll get more stackage from packed hair, but for bundles, it's going to work just like human hair where you have to, comb it out, press it like maybe every other day, and add more bundles just to get the weight that you want. So once I was done, you guys, I decided to go ahead and brush it out and just take a good look to see what I was going to do with her. I took out the T-pins and then um, I put it on my own head just to kind of see what I was working with. Sometimes if you're not careful with the T-pins in your lace, it can get stuck. I'm having a little battle here with the T-pins. It got stuck in my lace, and you don't want that because it can rip. And I didn't want to tear early on in the game. So what I did here was flipped it upside down, and I added the lace to my head where, I'm sorry, I cut off the lace. I cut off the spandex cap underneath because, as you know, you want the lace to show through. Sorry, got a little confused there. So this is the full wig made from start to finish where it's full on 16 inches all over. But it was very, very dry and non-manageable. But of course I knew I was going to cut it. And I just went to see how it looked. So say goodbye to all this hair that's on my head. I know it's the winter time and you might want to stay warm, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this hair. And I'm going to use a trick that we do in the beauty world, and it's called squeeze cutting. And squeeze cutting is when you take the hair, you put it in a rubber band. You might have seen this on lots of other YouTube channels and may not know what the term was. So squeeze cutting is when you take the hair, you put it in a ponytail, and you take it all together and bunch it, and you cut from there, which gives you instant layers. It's a shortcut to cutting, and it gets the job done really quickly. So if you have customers waiting, you can definitely go ahead and squeeze cut, but you must know what you're doing. You must have the vision for where this is going to go. So once I cut it, it's like my rough draft. And I know I want to get a nice bob happening in a V shape. Um, so all I'm doing right now is visualizing. I'm taking it and I'm taking one end, pulling it back, like over directing it. And I'm visualizing where I want this V shape to kind of form. And as I move along, I use my guide, which was the bottom at the V, and I took it upwards to kind of get that stack look. And it's the way of getting layers. You just kind of follow your guide. Everyone has different ways of cutting, but as artists, you kind of know what you see and how you're going to deliver it. So whichever way you decide to go is up to you. As you see, my vision came true, and all I'm doing is going back in and I'm cleaning up the look. I'm using a shear, it's a thinning shear, and what it does is if you take the hair, you pull it together, you can see where all of the little hairs that may have been missed from you cutting it, and it kind of cleans it up for you without taking off too much. It debulks it also, so that way it's not too heavy in one spot while maintaining your length. I added a little bit of hair. I added a little bit of oil to this hair to give it some shine and revitalize it, because after being boiled and whatnot, it really was just totally dry. And I'm plucking it just to smidge it. I don't really need to pluck it because I'm not going to have it off of my face, but I do want that nice look if I decide to like tuck it back behind my ear. And have a little bit of the hairline slightly edited. So I kind of plucked it just a little bit. Now I'm trying on the wig just to see how it flows and feels. You know, I cut it on the mannequin, but you always want to cut again when it's on yourself if you're able to. And that's all I'm doing. I'm kind of just like checking it out and making sure that it's all good. I'm impressed with how it's laying down so far. For you guys at home, definitely get something to put underneath your hair, like a stocking cap in a nude or taupe color to duplicate scalp. I went ahead and I kind of fake bleached the knots where I just colored the underbottom, and I used some some concealer just to get like the duplication of skin, or to make it look like a part. I also use this pencil in a light color. It's a concealer pencil. It's called the Window Pencil by NYX, and it's a little too light, but behind the scenes I did a lot of manipulation. I rubbed it off, then I put some powder on there, like some toe powder, just to kind of like buff it out so it looked good off camera and all that good stuff. On camera it looks a little too white, but trust me, I went ahead and I fixed that. So I used some organics edge control just to kind of slick down my edges, because you want to make sure that you get a finished look. And it's up to you what kind of edge control you want to use. I put too much maybe on one side, so I decided to just kind of like brush it out as much as possible. I'm constantly checking out my work because remember, it's only me. I'm only cutting my hair. No one's cutting it for me. And I just want to make sure I did a good job, because I was going to be wearing this. This is my 2016 bob look. I specialize in natural looking hair. So I definitely wanted something soft and bouncy and natural looking. Nothing to look real hard and dramatic to where it does look like a bob. So far, no one has guessed that this is a wig, and this frontal wig is so dope, you guys. When someone like grabbed me to give me like a holiday kiss and they grabbed my head, I was a little nervous, but they felt nothing because the frontal is so flat and it lays so good that you are tricking everyone. Okay, so I definitely recommend that people get frontal wigs because it's less tension on your edges. The clip is in the inside middle back area, and then you have a elastic band which kind of helps pull it together to make it snug. And that is pretty much it. You get a nice cut. I didn't cut too much because I knew I had plans for this. I'm going to continue cutting it throughout the times. I'm showing you guys how it looks if the wind were to blow and you have it really pulled forward, it's not going to show anything. All you're going to see is straight like edges, which is fabulous. Um, you really don't have to do anything. Just slick your hair down, make sure you conceal it. But if you lay right and you make your wig good, you don't have to worry about it not fitting. This fit me pretty well. I like the cut. I like the way it looks natural. It's a 1B color. I never colored it yet. But I really love this look and I'm getting a lot of compliments. It's very realistic and that's what I wanted. I didn't want it to look like, oh, that's a wig. No one can tell. Anywho, you guys, this is the look that I'm rocking for 2016. I might change it again in February, but I wanted to show you guys how I created this and then maybe it can help you create your own frontal bob wig. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Here's a couple of selfies of me just fixing up my hair and checking it out. Side look, back look, you know, different angles to see if I'm really feeling it, which I am. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, Beauty by CD. I'm on Instagram at Beauty by CD. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.